So I'm joined today by Stealth and Omega from Cognitive Gaming. They just had a fantastic matchup. I mean, honestly, it's what we expected to see you guys do day one. I mean, it was impressive to see. You controlled every aspect, every transition. We saw this Agni guy come out and almost get an unofficial pentakill. I mean, obviously you talked about it before. How did that moment go for you?
Well, everybody was avoiding me. Everybody on the other team, they were just going for my teammates around me, and I was just sitting there, just bombing people with Agni, just bombs every second. And I ran out of cooldowns on the fourth guy, and I got a lucky auto attack kill. Fifth guy was really far away, and he just started sprinting. I couldn't catch him in time, and no penta for me.
Did you feel an uprising of excitement to see your first pentakill in a tournament?
I think that's the fastest my heart has ever beat. It was very scary. Yeah, I wanted it, but it just wasn't destined to happen. Not yet. I'll get it one day.
So I think we're going to actually rename you to Vamana because your Vamana play has been probably one of the most impressive things we've seen all weekend. I mean, how long have you played Vamana? How long have you practiced Vamana? How well do you understand Vamana? Can you talk a little bit about Vamana especially?
Vamana is a very, very easy god to play. He's my most played god in ranked, and I think one of my highest win percentages. It's just, I don't know. A lot of people think he doesn't bring a lot to the team, but I think he brings so much because people make the mistake of overextending, trying to kill him, and then you ult, and then you meditation heal. So I don't know. Yeah, I love it.
So I mean, what is your early game strategy for Vamana? It seems like you just want to farm up, get as much golden experience as you can, don't contribute, but then come out really strong in the mid game. Is there a certain threshold you're trying to reach where Vamana isn't strong until you reach that point, or what's on with that?
Yeah, I try to get one physical defense item finish and one magical defense item finish before I start getting in crazy team fights. So for example, I'll have Mystical Mark, Boots, and Bulwark. And then I feel like I'm unstoppable at that point.
So once you reach that, then you're just ready to go and start joining those team fights. We saw certain situations where, I mean, even inside your ultimate, obviously, there's one where the Earthbreaker came out right into Driving Strike in a tower range, and then the knock-up and tried Odin Spears. I mean, how were you handling the hard amounts of CC? I mean, Vamana obviously has cleared the path to knock people up and reposition himself, but not a whole lot of CC immunity when it comes to, not using the ultimate.
Right. Well, the situation you're talking about was the Hercules' one canceled out my one. We both used it at the same time. But instead of me knocking him up, he pushed me back and stunned me under the tower. Then they ringed me, and then I was stuck. But that was just very, very, very lucky for the Hercules. Otherwise, that would have been my only death against RG, I think. I didn't die yesterday or 2 days ago.
So you guys picked up Bastet. I feel like we have to talk about it. Obviously, when it came to the banning phase, we saw Reason ban out Thor and then Naja, some of the, if not the two best junglers in the entire game. And you follow up with Bastet, and of course, you're earning a W for that one, getting a win there. And Bastet was actually quite effective. Was there a reasoning behind picking the Bastet, or was it kind of just like thrill of the moment type thing?
The Bastet pick was a really good bait because the bans that they did hurt them tremendously. So they banned Thor Nija, and we banned Tyr, which is the only god Wolfie can play, and we banned Sobek, which is just annoying. So we saw that, and then we would early pick Agni, so the middle was forced to play a god that has no escape, like Poseidon or Isis, which they chose. And Bastet, you can just leap over, do his combo, and let his cats tank, and literally they can do nothing except just walk back slowly. So it was just a bait pick. It was their fault pretty much, but yeah.
So, I mean, talking about Agni, we saw Stealth over here. There's a couple things to talk about, not so much like the individual plays, but overall, I mean, you had solid fundamentals. The laning phase worked really well for you. And it seems like you got out of some incredible situations. The Odin Spear trap near the medium camps there with the Harpies just barely escaping. I mean, you had really great positioning. I mean, what is your overall goal as Agni in the early game?
Well, overall goal with Agni in the middle or early game is just to... He's really easy to be careful with, and you just have to make sure to never, ever, ever dash on an enemy unless you know it's going to kill him. Otherwise, you're just dead. You're like the worst god in the game if you don't have Agni's dash. You have to make sure that's up at all times or else you're just going to die a lot. So you have to be careful, but with a guy like Isis who I was facing, you can just throw Agni meteors at him, and there's not really a lot Isis can do. She doesn't really have any long-range attacks. She kind of just has to take your meteors, and if she starts doing her one to clear the wave, you just stun her, and she has no wave clear. So Agni definitely beats Isis past level 5 in the laning phase.
So, I mean, you guys just competed, got third place, so congratulations on that one. What do you guys do now going forward? What do you take away from this tournament, and what do you apply to your strategy in scrimming, practicing, or anything along those lines?
Well, a couple players on our team were, I think they've been getting bored of the game per se, or not bored, but they've been playing a lot of League of Legends, and they shouldn't be, and it kind of showed at the tournament. They didn't play how they normally play, like online, and I don't know. But as soon as this tournament's over and we go back, we're going to be practicing. We may be switching up some roles. It's possible. I don't know. We have a couple surprises, but we just need to practice and stay focused and review our games. That's our plan.
So business as usual going forward. Okay. Well, thank you both for coming out today. Congratulations on your third place win. Really appreciate you coming out, and excellent games to watch.